Marsh Drive, back with another video. I don't know why I'm starting a lot. It's good to see y'all again. I hope y'all are doing fantastic today. As you can see, it's not nighttime. I woke up not too long ago, and I'm pretty sure this is about the quietest it'll get. So I'm hoping it stays this way. The most you'll probably hear is the chirping of birds outside. I think that's probably a little relaxing, so that's alright. I've sat here for about an hour trying to figure out what to record. I apologize, I was supposed to post last night, but I had work to double and I was just tired and I ended up falling asleep. But here I am, and yeah, I was trying to figure out what to record, and I was gonna do good morning quotes, but they were all so generic and boring, no offense, and I just feel like those are the ones that they're not helpful, you know. Waking up can be so tough sometimes, and just those kind of quotes, I don't know, they don't help me, and I don't think they help a lot of people. They're more like fun. Anyways, yeah, so I couldn't figure out what to do, so I want to do something right now. So I'm gonna read a chapter or so from this book, and hopefully get some inspiration to record something later tonight, so I can do 2 uploads today. Yeah, sorry for how long I've been gone. Work has been crazy. There's just a lot going on in my life right now. And yeah, a lot of my energy is going a lot of different places. So, but I promise that I'll try to keep a steady flow of videos at least. Yeah, so let's get right into it. I won't make it too long. If you have any recommendations, please request them. I would love to do them. That makes my job a little easier. I don't have to think for 2 hours to try to figure out what I want to do and then end up not doing anything I thought about. So the title of the novel is At Night I Become a Monster, and it is by Yoda Sumino. We're going to be reading chapter 1. I have not read this one yet. It's been kind of on the back burner, but I've read another novel by her. It's called I Had That Same Dream Again, and it was beautiful. It was such a good book. So I'm excited for this one. I'm going to read the summary on the back. This is what the cover looks like. I'm reading the summary on the back. Fear not the dark. Every night, Itachi transforms into a nightmarish creature, and every morning he reverts to human form. When he encounters his ostracized classmate, Yano Satsuki, in his monstrous state, the two develop a particular bond, but daylight brings its own form of terrors. Which is worse, the monster at night or the cruel realities of the classroom by day? A psychological high school fantasy novel from Yoda Sumino, best-selling author of I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. That is quite the title. So, let's get right into it. And I apologize, I know a lot of y'all wouldn't really be interested in just a straight reading video, but it's the only thing that really, I don't know, I felt motivated to make, I guess. So if you do stick around, I hope that you enjoy. You can just relax, I guess. Sorry. Interesting. So the chapters are the days of the week and at what time of day it is. So we have Tuesday at night, Wednesday at day, Wednesday night, Thursday day, Thursday night. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Also, if you're watching this in the morning as well, good morning. I hope that yours is going well. Alright. So, it comes on suddenly in the dead of night when I'm all alone in my room. It comes whether I'm sleeping or sitting or standing or squatting. It starts from my fingertips or my navel or sometimes my mouth. That night, the black droplets came as tears spilling from my eyes, mote by mote, a river of unending pitch-black tears. The streams growing gradually until they fell like two waterfalls from my eyes. The simmering, writhing black drops spread to cover my face and then flowed down my neck to my chest, arms, and waist, until every last inch of my body was covered, down to the tips of my fingers. All colors but black drained from the surface of my body at that point. I've never had a chance to watch my body's transformation, so I have no idea what it looks like. I merely get a sense of my body changing, assimilating into the black drops, into a form without skin, without flesh, without bone. A form which is no doubt dreadful to look upon. But like I said, I haven't actually seen it, so I couldn't actually say for certain. For all I know, maybe I look rather endearing to an outsider. Like one of those suit sprites from that one movie, Kurosuke. When I was finally able to see my body, it had transformed into something like a six-legged beast, made of pure darkness. As I gazed at my reflection in the full-length mirror, the only thing that shone on my waving black form were the whites of my eyes, the whites of my 8 eyes, set above a bottomless, inky crevice of my mouth. The first night that I viewed my own form, the black drops on the surface of my body went wild with the shock. I nearly ended up demolishing my room. However, I found that I accepted it with unexpected ease once I tried to think of myself as something like a monster appearing in a video game, or the strange beast that I had seen in an anime. How lucky that I was born in the modern age. When I first transformed, my body was around the size of a large dog. If I want to grow larger, I can will the black drops to move and become as large as a mountain. There was no point in enlarging myself now, though. I was stuck in my room. I thought that I might go outside, careful not to smash my window the way I did on that first night. I sprang up lightly and squeezed myself through a tiny crack in the windowsill, slipping out of my second-story room. My body briefly scattered like liquid, reforming into a more aerodynamic shape as I tore through the air. In a flash, I landed soundlessly upon the ground. I was in an empty lot about 300 meters from my home. Previously, I just jumped as hard and as far as I could. But after landing on a doghouse in a stranger's yard and crushing it, I decided to start aiming for more open areas. Luckily, the poor pup happened to be sleeping outside his home that time. I slipped him a bit of jerky later. The night breeze felt good, and there was a comfortable quiet around me. As I expanded my body to about 3 times its original size, under the gaze of a half-sleeping stray cat nearby. After testing out a variety of sizes, I had determined that this one was the most comfortable for sitting, which was the closest I could get to a comfortable resting position. Seeing this dark monster suddenly spring up beside it, the sleepy-looking cat skittered away at top speed. Sorry to have to stir up your peaceful sleep, kitty. Now a beast as wide as the road, I strode down the empty street, my 6 legs moving in an insectoid rhythm. Normally this was when I would start thinking about what I wanted to do next, but tonight I had only one destination in mind. As I continued walking, scaring off a dog who was harassing a cat along the way, I came to a crossroads last night. I turned left here and made my way out of the sea. The shore was quiet this late, and the sound of the waves put a pleasant stop to the pulsing motion of my inky form. I still had a bit of time, so I thought perhaps I could stop by the sea again tonight before moving on to my objective. My beard looks wild as I let the fond memories of the night before overtake me. A scream came from off to my left. I shuddered and turned to look. I saw a fellow who had been riding briskly along his bicycle. On his bicycle, he seemed to have noticed my presence just as he was about to collide into me. He let out a loud scream and toppled over on the spot. I felt badly for the poor guy, but there was nothing that I could do for him. For now, I put my thoughts of the sea aside and made a break down the road in the opposite direction. Whenever I caught wind of others around, I always ran away. That guy would almost certainly think that this was all just a dream when he woke up the next morning. Of course, it wasn't a dream at all. I would still be here, the window still broken, and the doghouse still destroyed. My quick retreat was perhaps a little too speedy. Before I knew it, I ended up somewhere that I didn't recognize. Hoping to get a better grasp of where I was, I moved to the nearby park and made myself larger than house. As I swept my gaze around, far taller than even the power poles, I found that I really had traveled an incredible distance. Far on the horizon, I could see the shore where I had spent those fleeting moments the night before. I needed to get back home before dawn, so for the time being I shrunk back down until I was around the width of the road again, and began leisurely walking my way back toward the sea. If I ever was discovered, the ones who found me would definitely be shocked. However, it was easy to avoid being seen. For example, if I were to see a car coming, I could just leap up high enough to pass over the car unseen, of course. I don't really have to avoid cars. It wasn't as if I would die if one hits me, and even if it did, I could simply let them pass right through me, diffusing the black drops in my body at the point of impact. The real reason I avoided them was to prevent any accidents causing. Let's try that again. The real reason I avoided them was to prevent any accidents caused by startled drivers. Besides, I had tired of the game of frightening people long ago. Tonight, I leapt high enough to overtake any approaching vehicles. Even with a form like this, I could feel the evening breeze. I could hear sirens wailing faintly in the distance. Night is such a peaceful time. When I arrived at the shore, I found the lovely, familiar reflection of the moon upon the ocean. This night, however, someone had arrived here before me. 2 people sat upon the bench, their arms around each other's shoulders. I got the feeling that they had come hoping to spend a little time enjoying the ocean as well. Though they were some distance away, having a monster appear at a time like this definitely would spoil the mood. I was sad to go, but I decided to quietly leave the shore behind. I was rather proud of myself for managing to be so considerate. Real quick, it's really cute how this crazy crazy monster that they're describing is so, it's just so kind. I know it's a human being, but it's just so interesting because any other story, I feel like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think it's just very interesting that this monster is really cute and so considerate and peaceful. So, let me figure out where I left off. Okay, so seemed I had no choice but to head straight for my objective where I stood. My intended destination would take about 10 minutes to reach by bike. If I were to run in this form, it would not even take 10 seconds. That said, I had less and less of a reason to rush now, so I took my time, heading there, not to startle anyone. And in the end, it took me about 20 minutes to arrive at my destination. Separated from the residence and surrounded by greenery, the place was utterly silent. I stretched my back up, literally, and peeked over the outer walls. Naturally, no one was there. Melting and dispersing my body, I slipped through a tiny hole in the wall and crept into the schoolyard. Just a few hours prior, I had been in the bath. It was not some sort of whim that led me to return to campus, nor was I interested in causing mischief. I definitely hadn't come by because I sincerely adored the school that I attended. It was because there was a change in tomorrow's schedule, and I had left my homework in my locker. I gathered up the black drops and reformed my monstrous body. I could see glimpses of light from inside of the school building, like a security guard making the rounds. I had to be sure not to startle him and me, and that meant staying out of sight. I shrank myself down a bit, pretending to be a large dog. I hugged the edges of the schoolyard as I walked toward the building, of course. I could pretend all I want, but if anyone got too close, they would see my jagged mouth and 8 eyes, my 6 legs, 4 tails, and probably have a heart attack. Even if I could change my size, or momentarily alter my form, I seemed to be beholden to some guideline that required I maintain this basic appearance. A guideline set by whom, I don't know. When I arrived at the closer of the 2 school buildings, I clung to the wall, climbing to the roof in one swift move, hoping to make a silent entrance. I hopped clear over to the chain link fence and landed soundlessly. Honestly, I should have just slipped in through one of the windows along the way, but I hoped to take a bit of a detour. I hadn't been on the roof since I first toured the school as a new student. I let myself indulge in a sense of loftiness, of being above it all. The illusion was slightly marred when I happened to spot a cigarette butt on the nearby ground. For better or worse, my eyes are sharp even in the dark of the night. Once I finished relishing the feeling of the wind and my own sense of satisfaction, I slipped in through the keyhole in the heavy door. It was silent inside. Or rather, there was a low sound, some kind of electric hum. Probably a ventilation fan or something. It wasn't pitch black either. The emergency lamps and the light of the moon filled the holes with a dim glow. Still, even with the sound of the light in the school was kind of eerie at night. If I were to bump into anyone, they would be one most surprised. Plus, I can even make myself enormous at a moment's notice if need be, so I wouldn't have any trouble even if a ghost or something popped out. All the same, I felt a chill down my back. Time to hurry up and do what I came to do and get out of here. Reading aloud is hard for me. I hope it's okay so far. Yeah, I don't know what it is, like, when it comes to numbers, if I'm reading a total back to a customer, I, flip the numbers. when I'm reading, it's like I continuously lose track of where I was at. Or I'm trying my best. I hope that is okay. So, the school building had 5 floors, and the third year classroom that I was assigned to was on the third. As I slowly descended the stairs, even my black drops seemed to somehow unease, jittering slightly on the surface. I passed by the 4th floor, which held the library and the art room. The moonlight pierced through the window, shone upon my dark form. There was a full moon tonight. I thought. I transformed every night. I couldn't help but wonder if I would be less disruptive to my life if I only transformed into a monster during the full moon, like a werewolf or something. As I arrived at the 3rd floor, thinking about such frivolous things, I heard the sound of running water from the bathroom right beside the staircase and immediately leapt to hide myself. Of course, it was probably just an automated cleaning system. I'm not sure what I was thinking really, given that I never looked particularly intimidating in this form. Step by step, I approached the classroom. Class 2. My class. As I passed by a pair of other classrooms, I felt the chambers of my heart seize. I'm not sure a heart even beat within my chest, but I felt it all the same. Well, chapter 1 is quite long, and jeez, it's been 22 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna call it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed and that was a little interesting or relaxing. The book again is called At Night I Become a Monster. If you would like me to continue chapter 1, let me know. If not, that's okay too. Like I said, I just wanted to record something, and when I woke up this morning, I just couldn't think of anything to record, so yeah. I hope that y'all have a great morning or night if you're watching it at night. Hopefully you'll see me again later tonight. And I'll think of something to record. And if I can't think of anything, I'll just record another simple video, maybe like a tapping or something like that, positive affirmation. But yeah, you'll have a wonderful day. Stay positive. Stay grounded. Believe in yourself. Believe in who you are. Navigate life like you run it. Because you do. You run your life. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support. I appreciate you so much. Have a great day. Bye.